Philippines would be the only sovereign entity in Asia with improving credit prospects, says IHS Global Insight, and is expected to become a $1 trillion economy by 2030. That's what the latest report of the Washington-based analytics firm IHS Global Insight cites in its latest report.
The Philippines might just pull off one of the biggest economic glow-ups of the decade, on track to become a $1 trillion economy by 2033. Yeah. You heard that right. Trillion. With a TA number so big it makes your calculator sigh. And no, this isn't one of those overhyped Asia's next tiger cliches. The data actually backs it up. The country's GDP grew by 6.4% in early 2023, faster than China, India, and Malaysia. While most economies were limping out of inflation hangovers, the Philippines was basically sprinting through the chaos like global slowdown. Never met her. What makes this even more insane is that it's happening in a tough environment. Interest rates climbing, prices soaring, global trade looking like a roller coaster. And yet, the Philippines keeps pushing forward. That's not luck. That's momentum. The kind you build when people, policies, and progress all line up for once. So what's driving this beast of an economy? Simple. People power, but not the 1986 kind. We're talking consumer power. Jobs are booming, paychecks are growing, and wallets are opening. The employment rate hit 95.3%, which translates to almost 49 million Filipinos, earning, spending, and keeping the economic engine roaring. Inflation may have tested everyone's patience, but if you've got more income coming in, you're still going to order that Jollibee meal or book that Cebu Pacific ticket. And that steady consumer spending? That's what keeps the growth train moving, even when the global economy's acting like it forgot its wallet at home. And speaking of movement, let's talk infrastructure. The Philippines is in the middle of a construction renaissance. Highways, railways, airports, you name it, they're building it. The government's Build Better More program isn't just fixing traffic, it's fixing the future. Every bridge and subway line isn't just concrete and steel, it's cash flow in disguise. Better roads mean faster business, and faster business means faster growth. But while the skyline rises, the real revolution is happening in the cloud. The IT BPO industry is the country's secret weapon, its economic cheat code. Over 1.6 million workers are powering global tech, finance, and customer service from the Philippines, generating $32.5 billion in revenue. That's not outsourcing, that's world-class export, digital addition. And as AI expands, this sector isn't shrinking, it's evolving. And just when you think the growth story stops there, another player steps in, sending billions back home every single year. Every month, like clockwork, billions of dollars fly back to the Philippines, not from exports, but from Filipinos abroad. Overseas remittances are basically the country's invisible superpower. Over $36 billion a year flows home from nurses in London, engineers in Dubai, seafarers in Greece, you name it. It's money that feeds families, fuels small businesses, and props up the peso when markets get shaky. Think of it as the world's biggest group chat called Send Money Home. Every transaction doesn't just support households, it supports national growth. Remittances are like free rocket fuel for consumption and investment, and the Philippines has mastered how to make that engine hum. And just as those dollars touch down, the next wave of fuel arrives: tourism. After the pandemic, the sector didn't just reopen, it exploded. From the beaches of Palawan to the streets of Intramuros, international arrivals are back in full swing. Tourists aren't just snapping selfies. They're injecting cash into local economies, creating jobs, and keeping hospitality, transport, and retail sectors buzzing. It's the perfect economic domino effect. More visitors, more spending, more growth. And with the government improving airports and infrastructure, the Philippines is positioning itself as Southeast Asia's come for the beaches, stay for the business destination. But hold on, because the next move is what separates a developing economy from a dominant one: trade. And the Philippines just joined the world's largest free trade deal, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP for short. This pact connects 15 Asia-Pacific nations, including heavyweights like China, Japan, and South Korea, creating a market that covers a third of global GDP. Here's why it matters. RCEP opens doors for Filipino manufacturers and exporters to plug into massive regional supply chains. Translation: cheaper exports, bigger markets, and more foreign investors looking at the Philippines like it's the new frontier for business. And those investors are noticing. From tech to manufacturing to renewable energy, foreign direct investment is rising. The Philippines is suddenly not just the underdog, it's the up-and-comer every multinational wants a piece of. Whether it's Japanese firms building industrial parks or American companies setting up shared service centers, capital is flowing in, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. And let's not forget, a huge part of this growth story isn't just global, it's local. Filipino entrepreneurs are scaling up, startups are going digital, and innovation hubs are sprouting everywhere. This is an economy that's finally learning how to make its own luck. But if you think the story ends with trade deals and remittances, think again. The real game changer? What happens when all of these forces, consumers, infrastructure, tech, tourism, and trade, start syncing together like a perfectly tuned engine? That's when the Philippines doesn't just grow, it transforms. By 2033, that transformation turns into pure numbers, and the numbers are insane. The Philippines' total GDP is projected to hit $1 trillion. Let that sink in. From around $400 billion in 2022 to $1 trillion in just over a decade. That's not a small glow-up. That's a full-blown metamorphosis. To put it simply, this isn't just catching up, it's leveling up. Joining the $1 trillion club puts the Philippines in the same league as giants like China, Japan, and South Korea. And by 2050, analysts predict it could climb to the 18th largest economy in the world. Not bad for a country that was once dismissed as the sick man of Asia. Now it's more like the comeback kid of the Pacific. And it's not just the economy that's growing, it's the people. The average Filipino's income has risen from below $1,000 in 2000 to over $3,500 today, and is expected to reach $6,000 by 2030. That means more purchasing power, better standards of living, and an expanding middle class that will fuel industries from real estate to retail to tech. Basically, the Philippines is setting itself up to become an economic gravity well, pulling in investment, talent, and opportunity like a magnet. And when that happens, it doesn't just lift the GDP, it lifts everyone. Poverty rates drop, education access rises, and the nation's human capital, the thing money can't buy, skyrockets. And sure, there's work to do. Infrastructure gaps still exist, bureaucracy could still lose a few pounds, and corruption occasionally tries to photobomb the progress. But compared to where things were a decade ago, the momentum is real. The direction is forward. Think of it like this. The Philippines is no longer waiting for someone else's boom. It's building its own. The blend of local resilience, global connectivity, and youthful energy has created something that can't be outsourced: national confidence. So when people ask, can the Philippines really become a trillion-dollar economy? The answer isn't maybe, it's just watch. Because this isn't a fluke, it's a formula, built on brains, grit, and the ability to turn every challenge into a comeback story. And if you've made it this far, you already know how this ends, with opportunity knocking. The only question left is, will you just watch the rise, or be part of it? If this gave you a glimpse of what the future might look like, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and share this with someone who still underestimates the Philippines. Because the next economic powerhouse of Asia? It's already warming up.